I just wanted to make a post because sorry, I was crying a little bit. But I receive SNAP benefits. I don't know, I'm a little embarrassed to say that, I guess, but it is what it is. And I have my 9-month-old and my 2-year-old down here, and I have my husband, the father of these boys, and we just got married a month ago, and he's in between jobs, and you know, we haven't had any income coming in for the last couple months, and the only thing that gets us by when we're low on money like that is just knowing that at least we have food, you know, and a roof over our table, or over our heads. But I just got confirmation, and I'm seeing everything being posted about it now, that SNAP benefits won't be coming in for November, which is really scary, because even when he was working before and we received SNAP benefits, with the cost of groceries, we would go through them. We got $700 a month, which sounds like a lot, and it got us by. And we'd always run out maybe the last week and a half of the month, and then WIC would come in really handy and kick in and get us by for that last week and a half. And so that's where we're at, because we're at the end of the month. Our SNAP benefits are gone, our food stamps are gone. My WIC, I think all I have left on there is like $30 in produce, which I will continue to get WIC, so I'm grateful for that, but that's not like, you know, gonna give you meals and stuff. Milk, cheese, eggs, veggies, and that's huge, but like, you can't live off of that. And it's just scary, because I've been going to the food banks.
A family of 4 with 2 babies and a husband that's working full-time, should be working full-time, should be working much more than full-time, should be working every chance he can get, no days off, graveyard shift as well. Because did nobody tell you to have a family? You decided to have some newborns before you were ready and before you could financially float the bill. Now, here's what I want to unpack for a second, because she mentioned that they just got married. And I'm going to do a little digging, because I'm curious. I want to see, because who doesn't get married and post a wedding, right? So I want to see what type of wedding they had. And I'm going in with good faith. You know, if maybe they did something in their backyard, I don't know. I'm still going to make the point regardless, because this is something that I see all the time. But, okay, yeah, so it looks like a little mountain type of wedding. I'll show you guys. Let me see.
What's a soulmate?
It's
Yay! Mommy and Daddy.
well, it's like a best friend, but more.
So,
Mommy and Daddy.
so possibly a free wedding. So good, kudos to them. Listen, like I said, I went in with good faith. It's possible they didn't spend a lot of money. But again, I see a lot of people blow savings money, even going to debt, in order to have some of these extravagant weddings that only last for a day. Matter of fact, it's not like it's 24 hours. It only lasts 2, 3, 4 hours max. And you just blew 50K, 75K. Again, sometimes they go into debt. And then they'll have like a beater car that's like on its last leg. Like, you could have bought a whole car with that you all will still be able to use for the next 7 to 10 years. And you blew it on a couple hours. I always find that amazing. I'm going to be honest. But y'all, before we get back into it, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you could hype.
And even being with my children, they're a little bit more generous with how much they give me. But my family of 4 eats that up in a day and a half. And that's not to say that we're eating all this food. We're still being very limited. You know, you get one, you know, we got a pizza yesterday. We got a frozen thing of ground turkey, a frozen thing of ground chicken, some vegetables, and another handful of some really good stuff. Some Uncrustables, like 3 individual ones. You know, it's not like we're getting the full amount. We're getting a little bit here and there, which is I'm so grateful for. But so to be able to survive solely off of food banks, I'm gonna have to take my kids to as many food banks as possible, and each one you're there for about an hour and a half because you got to get there early. You got to wait in line. My 2-year-old high energy boys can't handle that, and that's how now we're gonna have to spend.
Ma'am, you can't even just get there early and wait in line to get some free stuff. Let me get this straight. Your husband's working, I'm assuming. He needs to work as much as possible, like I said. But then it's still something that you could do, which it to make up for what you're saying the lack is, which in my opinion, if you're getting $700 a month, to me that's just poor strategic use of the funds. I don't think that it's not enough funds. I think that you're not maximizing the funds to their best capabilities. But even if we take it your way, why do you just need the government to just pay for everything, all expense? Like, why is there no earnest on you? And you're saying that there are opportunities to make up that gap, but what it will cause is for you to have to go stand in line just to go still get some free stuff, or get there a little early just to get some free stuff. Yeah, you're gonna have to do some type of you're gonna have to do some things on your own behalf as well. Like, this isn't just gonna be everything taken care of. In my opinion, I still kind of feel like everything is taken care of, but you all aren't making it stretch the way that it possibly can. So then you're gonna have to find more creative ways, which it sounds like there are plenty of opportunities wherever she lives for her to still be able to make up that difference. Let's get into something different though.
I got laid off 2 times back to back, and that is how I ended up using SNAP benefits. The first time I had unemployment for a very short period of time, but it's also a very small amount because I only had a small salary before. Ended up getting a new job, moved to a different state by myself with $300 to my name. I had relocation budget that they gave me, so that helped a ton. I got situated, started rebuilding my life, started rebuilding my savings account, and then the pandemic happened and I was laid off again. It was cheaper for me to stay in my apartment than to end the lease. So I stayed there for another 3 months until my lease ended, and then I luckily was able to move in with my parents. Then was unemployed and then underemployed for the next year. During that time, I was babysitting and walking dogs and driving DoorDash, and then I ended up getting a job at a coffee shop, but I was being paid $12 an hour. And I had used up all of my savings because, as you know, before I had been unemployed, and so was already drawing from a very small savings account. The day that I applied for SNAP benefits, I had $121 to my name. I am college educated and I have years of work experience, yet I found myself needing to utilize government assistance, all because of a couple of bouts of bad luck. I had the privilege of moving in with my parents, so I didn't have to pay rent. But there are other people that don't have that privilege, who have children, who are working minimum wage, and they're doing the best that they can, and you want to take away SNAP benefits. There are people that can say this so much more eloquently than I can and so much more concise, but to take away food from children and people who are already doing their best, who are already struggling, who are already stressed during the holiday season is beyond cruel. And to the ones that will inevitably come into my comment section and say, well, you feed them. Well, I do. I pay taxes and I want my taxes to go to those SNAP benefits, but also I donate regularly to the local food shelters because they were there for me when I needed them. Because this video is so long, it is eligible for the TikTok Creator Fund, and if I get enough views, then I will use the money from this video to donate to my food shelter, on top of what I have already contributed this month. So yeah, if you've watched this long, thank you so much.
Yeah, see, this is the new little hustle they got to do on TikTok. See, when a lot of people are going around saying that TikTok creators don't get paid anymore, it's really the creator fund thing, fiasco that they're referring to, because one of the stipulations is that your videos have to be over, I think it's like 60 seconds now, which that kind of defeats the purpose of TikTok. So she had to kind of stretch her video out to make sure it was still qualified to be monetized. Now, here's the thing. I mean, if we just take what she's saying on face value, it sounds like it's hard. It sounds like she's struggling. But what it also sounds like is that she's working at her coffee shop or whatever. She's been applying for jobs, but in her spare time, she's been working on her TikTok and all this type of stuff. She picked a very bad vehicle to invest all her time and energy, because it's looking like TikTok is about to be cooked, especially when they stop paying people. I say this to say, you're working at a coffee shop. Like, what are your skills? Did you go to school? Do you have certificates? Because I feel like you could have used that time you have been spending building your TikTok on like getting some more marketable skills that make you more valuable in the market. And that way you can actually just pivot into more of a career instead of keep wasting your time at these dead end jobs that the years you're spending there don't contribute to your expertise or your professional resume and credentials. In this day and age that we're going towards, you don't have time. I'm gonna be honest. If you're coffee shop and all that type of stuff, she's probably in her 30s. Leave that for the kids. We're not. I think when a lot of people say, "Oh, there's no jobs and there's you can't live off these incomes, these $12 an hour," I feel like those type of jobs aren't really meant to be able to live off of. I feel like that's meant for the next generation, for them to make a little extra money. You should be working towards getting a career. That's your job as an adult, to be working towards getting to something that can actually sustain an adult and everything that comes with it. And if you don't want to do that, then the other alternative is get you a boyfriend, a girlfriend, whatever, and y'all work together. But it's not just gonna, the path's not just gonna lay out in front of you and just reveal itself. You're gonna have to take initiative, and you're gonna have to actually figure it out and then actually commit to it. And by commit to it, I mean you decide on it and you say, I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna die trying.
You live in the state of Florida and you are on food stamps, starting April 20th, 2026, they are going to be putting out changes of things that you can no longer buy. And I wanted to go through those things with you guys so you guys are aware and you guys can stock up now while you can before these changes are made. As you guys seen on the list, there's no soda, there's no energy drinks, candy, or ultra processed desserts. So if I were you, I would stock up on those things if I could now before April 20th comes in 2026. If you live
She's like, if you could just stock up on those things, energy drinks and uh, processed junk food, and ultimately what she's saying is prioritize this, right? Stock up on this, prepare for this. It's like, are you preparing to get off of it? Are y'all preparing to get off these programs the same way you're preparing for April 20th to come and you're buying all the junk you possibly can? I think that's the preparation that needs to be prioritized. I don't think the preparation you need to be doing is like to try to beat some stipulations. So now you're going to shift all your funds. You're going to say, okay, for this last month, I'm going to spend all the money just to stock up on a horde of energy drinks and candy, right? It's like, come on now. I think you got bigger fish to fry. You need to be stocking up on some skills, on some certificates, on some books, maybe on maybe on I'm gonna leave it alone. But yeah, we're gonna leave it there for today. If you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. Also, if you could hype the video, hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And when you hype, it actually pushes smaller content creators to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button, then it shows the points. And since I'm a smaller content creator, we get more points per hype. And then also Patreon's link below if you want to see self-improvement content as well. But until then, I'll catch you in the next video.